It is now 10 a.m. If you will find your way to your seats, and we will welcome you to this May the 7th, 2024 regular meeting of the Baldwin County Commission. And we have Pastor from Loxley Church here. You will make your way to the podium. You don't have to go too far. And if everyone would please stand with us. And then after that, I will ask Commissioner Ball to lead us in the pledge. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brandon Morrison from Loxley Church of God. What a privilege it is to be here today to lead the invocation. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed day today and a fantastic meeting. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you this morning and we thank you so much for your love and your mercy and your guidance today. God, I just pray over this meeting, ask that you be here, that you reside over this meeting today. I pray for these leaders, God, that you will inspire them today and bless them with very high levels of cooperation and communication. And Lord, for every issue and every area of business that is conducted today, Father, I pray that your Spirit guide them, that this proceeding today will be blessed by your peace and by your presence, God. And you bless our county, its businesses, its families, its churches. God, in every effort to please you, let everything shine upon you and your light and your kingdom in this county today and always. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Okay, so first item on our agenda is to adopt the minutes of the April 16th, 2024 regular meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Make that motion.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The next item we have is our finance report. We have item to pay the bills. Commissioner McKenzie?
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we approve our bills.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to pay our bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is just a notification of interim payments approved by the clerk treasurer as allowed under policy 8.1, which leads us to our consent agenda. And note before the consent approval that we are adopting the consent agenda with replacement items CA1 and CE9 and the additional revision to item CE9 by removing the two office pay raises off the probate office pay raises off the agenda and with a replacement attachment on item CO1. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the items noted. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Brings us all the way down, if any of you in the audience have picked up one of our agendas. That will bring us all the way down to the bottom of page 4, which is our presentations, which I believe is what the majority of people are in here for today. So it's always great to have people here. We have lots of people here. So the first presentation we have, I believe Commissioner Ball will be presenting that. Commissioner Ball? The resolution in recognition of Mr. Galen Gilligan Sr. and dedication of the Interpretive Center at Live Oak Landing.
Where's the?
Who is here for the?
Y'all gonna have to come up here for this.
Y'all please come up to the podium with Commissioner Ball, because we're going to make a resolution, and then we will have a photo right after that. So y'all just come up here with Commissioner Ball to the podium.
Y'all come up here. You be safe with me.
He'll take care of you. He's
Real quick, this is just this is going to be a kind of like an informal part of this presentation. At the very first, I'm going to read a little letter that Chip wrote us on behalf of what his father did for this county. Then we'll watch a little 3-minute movie clip that Chip put together about this, and just listen to this letter for just a second, and then we'll get into more part of this presentation. But this is a long time coming presentation that we've been planning for a while. It's finally coming to fruition, and you will learn more about it as the time comes. It says, some may think Galen Gilligan was the best fisherman on our delta. The answer to that question, however, is no. There was undoubtedly others with superior angling skills for certain fish. Without a doubt, Galen left an incredible mark on our fishing community by creating opportunities for others to learn and engage in the sport as we all love. Growing up in North Baldwin County, he probably never thought someone in South Baldwin would play such a significant role as his life as a promoter. In the mid-'70s, he entered the fishing industry when Baldwin County legend Lou Childry of Lou Childry and Sons in Foley, Alabama, asked him to join his company. During this time, he traveled all over the country with Lou promoting and field testing their rods and reels before they went into production. He learned a tremendous amount from Lou and who would serve him many years to come. In the late 80s, time predating the internet, fishermen lacked an effective means to share knowledge. Right? Y'all know all about it nowadays. Y'all got video things you can have on your boat and cheat and catch fish. So, recognizing this, Galen started the Faulkner State School of Fishing. For over 10 years, he utilized this industry contacts to bring him the top tier fishermen from our region around the country to share their knowledge with local anglers. To this day, the Faulkner State School of Fishing remains the largest continuing education class ever offered at our community college. In 1990, he created the World Champion Bowfin Tournament at Live Oak Landing. The bowfin, locally known as grinnell, were far from being a sought-after fish. Over time, he changed the perception of this fish that was once considered a nuisance. Today, anglers safely release these fish instead of killing them like they once did. Fishermen travel from multiple states not just for the prize money, but because he turned into a major summer event with live music, food, and vendors. The World Champion Bowfin Tournament received both regional and national media coverage in both print and the television. These tournaments at Live Oak Landing had a way of bringing people together that never fished competitively. Over the next 11 years, this event involved in the largest tournament of its kind in the United States of America, and in 1997 was recognized as the largest freshwater fishing tournament in Alabama, according to Alabama Game and Fish magazine. Each year, Galen used the proceeds from this tournament to fund 2-year scholarships for one Baldwin County senior to attend Faulkner State Junior College, provided they major in the field that would benefit the fishing community. One enduring legacy dates back to his childhood. Each day, his mother, Genevieve, would drop him off with Miss Edens at Cliff's Landing while she went to work at her restaurant in Bay Minette. In the mid-'80s, he identified the need for a free public boat ramp, even though we had plenty of private boat ramps along the Tensas River. In 1988, he drove to Atmore, Alabama to see his old friend and persuaded Mr. Edens to divide his property into 3 parcels and to sell the boat ramp to the county. With the help of Commissioner Frank Burt, Cliff's Landing was reborn in 1989, and to this day, both anglers and pleasure boaters frequent this outstanding facility. So that's just a little bit about what we're here for today, and after I read the proclamation, it will sum up the ending of this, but I wanted y'all to see just a little bit about what this used to look like.
Good morning, folks. I am at Live Oak Landing on the banks of the Tensas River, just outside of a small town called Bay Minette, Alabama. If you look behind me, there's a lot of bass boats and they're in a hurry to get somewhere. So you would assume that they're going bass fishing, but today they're not. Today they're fishing the largest bowfin tournament in the United States. And this is a tournament that started back in 1974 with my daddy and his club, the Bay Area Bassmasters. And so I'm going to go through the last 49 years of this tournament and how fishing has evolved over the years. So y'all check this out.
Most freshwater fishermen that pursue the more well-known game fish, the bass, view the bowfin as nothing more than a nuisance. But that's not the case in South Alabama, where this fish is highly regarded and sought after by anglers during the summer months on the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. This creature goes by several names: cottonfish, cypress trout, grinnell, shoepick, but it is best known as the bowfin. For decades, bass fishermen saw the bowfin as both an obstacle in their sport and a rival to bass for food. These beasts, with a mouth containing plates like steel and rows of sharp teeth, date back to the Jurassic period around 150 million years ago. Makes one believe that if you hang around long enough, you'll finally be appreciated. During the summer months, when bass fishing tends to get tough due to rising water temperatures, the bowfin is in peak form, hiding out in shallow areas with low oxygen content, waiting to destroy anything in their path. Back in 1972, a group of guys formed a club and they called it the Bay Area Bassmasters. In 1974, my daddy and some of the guys from the club thought it would be fun to have a bowfin tournament, and this is how it all began. Unlike tournaments today, the morning blast-off started with my daddy shooting a pistol in the air. So right out of the chute, you were in a fight for your life just to get to your fishing spot without going overboard. The tournaments back then didn't attract huge numbers of fishermen or a lot of prize money, but they laid the groundwork for what would begin an 11-year run of the World Champion Bowfin Tournament in 1990. Over this 11-year period, the World Champion Bowfin Tournament would become the largest freshwater tournament in the state, according to the January 1998 issue of Alabama Game and Fish magazine. It also provided the Bay Area Bassmasters with a solid foundation of avid bowfin anglers that would continue to compete in their tournaments for the next 23 years. The 1974 tournament was the beginning of the bowfin losing its negative stereotype and becoming a celebrated rival to the bass. The 1980s were the golden age of bass fishing, and the popularity of the sport took off, thanks to another Alabama resident, Ray Scott. During this time, Daddy was busy bass fishing, trying to get us some public boat ramps, and teaching the Faulkner State School of Fishing. So my repeated request to bring back the bowfin tournaments went unnoticed until 1990 when he launched the World Champion Bowfin Tournament from Live Oak Landing. Over the next 11 years, this tournament and its popularity exploded, gaining national attention. Who would have dreamed that a bowfin tournament would have more boats than a bass tournament? Even the hardcore bass fishermen that claimed they'd never put a bowfin in their boat couldn't resist the prize money. It took them
Being a lifelong friend of Chip and his family, there was a lot of people. I would say probably 90% of the people there were spectators that came to see the weigh-in instead of fish. So this all happened right when we were all going to college, so we made it a point to get back home just for the tournament and the weigh-in, because it was an all-day event and all weekend event where thousands of people would be there looking for this weigh-in and to see who was going to win the prize money. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all hold this resolution together. And I'm going to read this resolution and proclamation today that we are dedicating to the Gilligan family. In recognition of the late Mr. Galen Gilligan Sr. for his outstanding civic service as a distinguished ambassador of the Mobile-Tensaw Delta region and Baldwin County. Whereas Mr. Galen Gilligan Sr. was a resident of Bay Minette, Alabama, and served as an ambassador of the Mobile-Tensaw Delta region, more specifically Baldwin County, for more than 40 years through the fishing industry. And whereas in the mid-1980s, Mr. Gilligan identified the need for free, publicly owned boat ramps along the Tensaw River, and in coordination with Baldwin County Commissioner Frank Burke, facilitated the establishment of Cliffs Landing Boat Ramp in 1989. And whereas in the late 1980s, Mr. Gilligan coordinated with Faulkner State Community College to establish the Faulkner State School of Fishing, which lasted for over 10 years, and this day remains the largest continuing education class ever offered at the college. And whereas Mr. Gilligan founded the World Champion Bowfin Tournament at Live Oak Landing in 1990, which spanned 11 years and evolved into the largest freshwater tournament of its kind in the United States, and was recognized for the largest freshwater tournament of any type in the state of Alabama in 1997. And whereas proceeds received from this tournament were used to fulfill tuitions at two-year scholarship programs at Faulkner State Community College, where one senior student in Baldwin County would be selected each year provided they major in the field that benefited the fishing community, and whereas the Baldwin County Commission desires to recognize the distinguished and outstanding service of Mr. Gilligan to the community by dedicating the Interpretive Center at Live Oak Landing Recreational and RV Campground to be known as the Galen Gilligan Interpretive Center. And now therefore be it resolved by the Baldwin County Commission in regular session assembled that we recognize the distinguished and outstanding service of the late Mr. Galen Gilligan Sr. and hereby approve dedicating the Interpretive Center at Live Oak Landing Recreational and RV Campground as the Galen Gilligan Interpretive Center. Be it further resolved, the copy of this resolution recorded official minutes of the honorable governing body of the embodied resolution 2024/113, the Baldwin County Commission, be it conveyed to Mr. Gilligan's family as sincere praise and small token appreciation of all the citizens of Baldwin County. Sorry. You give us a microphone, Jerry, you can say anything you want to.
Sure. Thank you so much for that. I'll keep this brief. You know, as Jeb mentioned, a lot of the things that Daddy did was predating the internet, so obviously he wasn't doing it for likes and subscribes and comments. He just wanted to provide people with knowledge about fishing and also create opportunities for others to fish. And I would just like to sincerely thank the County Commission on behalf of my family. I'd also like to thank on behalf of my friends. This is just a wonderful day, and I appreciate it so very much.
We're going to get some pictures now. How about that? Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. Our highway engineer, Mr. Lundy, is going to say just a little bit of something, maybe how this personally influenced him as well.
Thank you, Commissioner. So if I can direct your attention to the screen, you may see someone you recognize, albeit a much younger version. So I just want to give my personal appreciation to Mr. Gillikin, and I can certainly attest to everything that's been said today. So I was actually the 1995 recipient of the scholarship that was referenced. It was of tremendous value to me and my family as I was getting started on my engineering career. So I graduated from Baldwin County High School and attended Faulkner State for the 2 years, and so just a real blessing. So I want to thank Mr. Gillikin as well.
So now we need a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Madam Chairman, excuse me. I make a motion, Madam Chairman, that we adopt this proclamation
I'll second.
All right.
or resolution number.
Resolution number 2024-113. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you very much. Next, or you want to say anything?
I think it's all been said. Frank summed it up really well. This family generationally has just added to our community, and there's nothing more to be said. I'm looking forward to what the Interpretive Center is going to turn out to be, and it's going to be an asset to everybody who drives down there, and Frank and his staff are working on that right now as we speak. So.
Thank you, guys. Yes, I'm super impressed, sir.
The only thing that I want to say is just thank you, to the family. Jeb, thank you for doing this,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for bringing it to our attention, because I'm not going to speak for Matt, but I didn't know all this until, I become part of the commission. And there's so much in different parts of the county that all of us don't know. I mean, it doesn't mean just because I may not know all that's going on up here, y'all probably don't know all that's going on down here. So it's really a super cool place. This county is just amazing, and I don't want to go on, but I was talking to a lady yesterday that moved from Mobile. She lived in Mobile her whole life until she moved to Baldwin County 3 years ago, and she said, whoa, I'm never moving back to Mobile. So I thought that was just interesting the way she said it, and I think that's what makes us so special here, so thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. I'm just glad that my family's not here, to be honest, because they're wanting a boat, and it's about to drive me crazy, and I keep telling them a boat is bring on another 1,000, so I've been trying.
Wait a minute, it's bust out another 1,000, but the thing is, freshwater fishing's a whole lot cheaper than Gulf fishing. I traded it in, and my husband is happy as a lark. I've never even been on his freshwater boat, and he probably don't want me on it, but that's okay, because he spends a whole lot less money than we did out in the Gulf. All right, next, we have the next presentation.
Well, I just want to remind, there's an item 2 on this same agenda. We
Right.
don't need to forget it.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff?
Where's that?
The Life Jacket Loaner Program,
Oh, DA2?
DA2.
Am I reading that one too? Or you're reading
No,
that?
sir. Go back to the previous agenda with Mr. Gillikin. There's an
Not on
item.
my computer anymore, so
Okay.
help me out, guys.
Oh, we gotta do the dedicate,
So we'll approve the resolution as item 1. We need to approve item 2 on that agenda, and I don't have it.
oh, I don't have that pulled up in front of me.
All right, I'm gonna
It's-
pull it up right now, Frank. You know why? Because we got time. And it's important that we get this right, so
It wasn't just the resolution.
That's right.
it's an action item on this
Sorry.
as well. Let
My
me get
computer
to-
went to sleep and it takes me 5 minutes to wake it up, so.
All right, so I make the motion that we approve staff's recommendation and approve the installation of display cases inside the Interpretive Center for memorabilia of significance to the Mobile Tensas Delta region to be donated by the Gillikin family.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Does that clean it up, Frank?
Motion carries.
Yes, sir. You got it.
All right, now we're on to the next item, correct?
That's correct.
All right, are you part of that?
All right, so I'll take the lead on this one. So Commissioners, this next item is one that's been going on for a little while. At the time, it was Trooper Peacock with Aaliyah. He's now Corporal Peacock. I think a lot of us in the room here know Jesse Peacock. He come to the commission and presented an idea that about a life jacket loaner program, just based on the things that he's seen over his career, whether it's a fatality due to a drowning or just someone getting a ticket on the river that does not, that didn't have a life jacket in the boat. So he presented this idea and we explored it through your direction, and that has really cultivated since last summer. So what we did is took his idea, researched it, determined what it was, and then partnered with North Baldwin Center of Technology and South Baldwin Center of Technology, referred to where I grew up as the trade schools. And the kids just really took initiative with this and built. So Madison, if I can get some of y'all to come up, and I want to unveil our display here. And so the schools built these boxes, built the stations that will house the life jackets. We also,
Push that thing out a little bit. So.
you can just kind of turn it and line it up there.
I'm glad that's not a Dunkin' booth for us.
You be the first one. Looks like it, doesn't it?
That's good.
It may work out there. And just go and unveil it. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow,
Oh, nice.
beautiful.
That's awesome.
Okay, so this, again, the idea was cultivated, and we partnered with the trade schools. I'm going to let the trade schools speak on that just a little bit in a second. But we also did some research as far as providing the life jackets. Well, we found out there is a program through CETO. If most of us that's been on the water understands what CETO is, and reached out and said, yeah, we have a program, and it's a grant type program. So we sent the application in, didn't hear anything for quite a while, and just recently, within the past 2 weeks, received notification that yes, y'all have a great idea here. We will supply some of the life jackets to help for this program. So the life jackets that's displayed here were mailed to us from New York. This was a nationwide program, and so a portion of those will fill these boxes. Others will be filled through other means. But so this is a 3-part agenda. So I want to start with a recognition first of the different parties, and then we'll go into the actual decision items on items 1 and 2. So to recognize, I would like to first recognize Corporal Peacock for his vision with this program and bringing it to the commission, and really the birth of it. So Corporal, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, come out of the box over there.
Not really, but
I think that means you should.
exactly, I understand how this goes sometimes. So, kids, I can't thank y'all enough for helping the commission out, the commission for approving this. To hinge on Galen, we used to see him down at the river all the time, him and Chip. And the one thing you didn't see them too, when that big motor was running, you didn't see them on that boat without a life jacket on. He always had his life jacket. This year, there's going to be, if you show up to the river and your buddies show up and you don't have enough life jackets, go by and grab one. Put it on. Just return it. One, at the very least, it'll save you a citation because you got to have a life jacket for every person on board that boat. If I could make you, every time that big motor was running, you would be wearing it. That was my dad's rule. That's my rule at my house. That life jacket don't do you any good in the bow of that boat. Show up where you can't get to it. Take that thing and put it on. This right here is going to bring opportunity to people that forgot it, or somebody that wanted to go to the river and go for a ride, showed up to a landing. It's really going to benefit the county and possibly save a life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
Cor.
you. Thank you.
And Commissioners, second, I would like to really give some credit to the trade school students who made this happen. I think we have Mr. Rogers here, with the school. If you'd like to say a few words and just a little bit about how they designed, developed, and come up with this plan. Would you give them the idea and they took it from there?
Absolutely. My name's Tony Rogers. I'm an assistant principal with North and South Baldwin Technical School. If you're not aware, if you have not driven down 59 towards Loxley, look on the right. If you have missed the new building, it's called Baldwin Preparatory Academy. Maybe check your vision because it's one of the largest buildings in Baldwin County right now. And so we had an opportunity. Mr. Steele reached out to me earlier this year, beginning of the school year, and he had an idea that he thought we could partner with. We were happy to oblige the students, and I do want to recognize them. Guys, stand up for me just real quick, and ladies. And all of these students are from various portions of Baldwin County. Some are from Daphne, Fairhope, Robertsdale, Bay Minette, all the way down to Foley in Alberta, Spanish Fort. So all of our students come to North and South Baldwin. They learn their trade. I'll get you back up here in just a moment. I know you're getting a little nervous on the standing, so you can have a seat real quick. But I do want to put a plug in that Baldwin Preparatory Academy is a little bit different. So these students take their core classes either in the morning or in the afternoon. They're bused to North and South Baldwin Technical. While that is a viable option for them, we are so happy that Baldwin Preparatory will be a standalone high school. Students will come to us. They will take their core classes at various parts of the day. They can take their technical classes, and that is their, instead of taking a home ec class that you maybe remember, or a wood shop or horticulture, they'll be able to focus on 12 high-wage, high-demand jobs here in Baldwin County, and we partner with various businesses to do that. So it's very efficient for what we're doing. So in a nutshell, instead of graduating from Daphne High School with a Daphne High School diploma, you will graduate with Baldwin Preparatory Academy diploma. We'll have our own graduation starting next year. We will not have a first senior class next year, but 2 years out, we got to crawl a little bit before we can get to running. But we anticipate in the near future we're going to be producing a lot of workers in Baldwin County and even further. So we're proud about that. So I'll take that just a moment just to let you know a little bit about it. But to get back to why we're here, we have two instructors, Mr. Bullock. Stand up for me, Mr. Bullock. He did a great job with our South Baldwin group. So Mr. Steele asked us to develop those. And so our students, they planned it with some pictures. They did a cost estimate. They obviously built it. They gave a list of materials to us. And I then was just a mediator to give that to Mr. Steele. So a few months later, here's your product. We built 7 total, 4, I believe, at South Baldwin and 3 at North Baldwin. And we look for opportunities in the future for you guys and any guests here with us, any what we consider live work. It gives our students an opportunity, again, to think about it from a cost analysis, be able to obviously material list, put the work, meet a deadline, all the things that we look forward to with, opportunities with Baldwin Prep. So our students did a fabulous job. There were other students that did have their hands in this, but these are some these students had probably the pedal the hardest to get these things put together. So again, we hope for in the future it'll last, and if there's again opportunities in the future for other landings or anything like that, we're always here to help. So thank you again for recognizing us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we're certainly appreciative of our partnerships with Aaliyah, the schools, and many others to make these projects happen. Okay, so now I'm going to jump back to the top for the decision items. So item 1 is to authorize the County Parks Department to install the life jacket loaner box stations and supply life jackets at the following county-maintained boat launches. We're going to start with the 7 most utilized launches for this initial phase of the program. These launches are Live Oak Landing, Cliffs Landing, Mullet Point Park, Seminole Boat Launch, the launch at ICW, Lillian Boat Launch, and Marlowe Ferry. So item 1 would be to approve that.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve item 1?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Motion carries. Next.
All right, item 2, authorize the Parks Director in coordination with the county engineer to add additional life jacket loaner box stations at other county-maintained boat launch facilities as needed. As y'all well know, we have others that are on the way. We have, so as more launches come online, we don't have to come back and get approval every single time. So
I'll make that motion, Madam Chairman.
All right.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much.
thank you, Commissioner.
All right.
Would y'all like to get a photo?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. All you guys come on, ladies, come on up.
I'll come down that way.
You want to stay up here with all them kids? So what do we? All right, I'll make a comment.
Okay, I think, Frank, have we done all the official portion of that? Yep. Okay, and now, commissioners, before you guys leave, hold on just a second, You had to wait this long, you got to wait on us just a second.
Want to give it back to their house?
That's right.
We'll let you go in just a minute, okay?
I'll
Okay.
make mine quick. Man.
All right, go ahead.
I'd just like to say thank you to Corporal Jesse Peacock for his vision to do this, to protect the citizens of Baldwin County or anybody that uses these life jackets. So thank you, Jesse, for thinking outside the box. Yep. Sergeant, that goes on his evaluation now. So
yes, thank you so much, and thank you, students, for being here. It's exciting, and I hope that this is exciting for you guys to see this in play, and I hope we have these at every one of our boat launches and our water access, because not just where there's a boat launch, but people are getting on kayaks and everything else everywhere, and hopefully this will catch on to the other ones that aren't county maintained. So thank you so much. Thank you, Corporal Peacock, and all you guys for being here today. All right.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse. I remember when you came to us with this vision and talked about it, I had no idea what you were talking about at first, and now I do, when we started talking about loaning out life jackets. So this is going to be very important for our boaters and our anglers on the waterways at all of these facilities, and even including our new ones. And it's a great program. I did have a question for Frank, and you don't have to come back up here, but will there be an opportunity for the public to donate life jackets that they no longer use to this program?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We will craft that and put that on our website of the process for that. And so that's actually encouraged with this type program. So absolutely.
Right, so listen to that. So if y'all already got an old shed full of life jackets like I do, I'm gonna see if they're approved to be fit to be stored in these sheds, because I'm sure all of us can find a life jacket or two that we don't use anymore, and especially if you don't have a boat anymore. So I will be looking for that on that webpage to find out where I can donate some life jackets to in all sizes.
Sounds good.
Thank y'all again. Thank you to the school, and now y'all can get back to
y'all can go.
whatever it is y'all got to do.
Hope you enjoy.
Thank you, high school students. Thank y'all.
We'll give them just a second to exit, and then the next item will be DA3, which is the proclamation for National Correctional Officers Week. So Commissioner McKenzie will be presenting that. So those that are here with the Sheriff's Office would come up to the podium.
I'm going to hand this to you, sir. Good morning, everybody. Madam Chairman, I'd like to read this proclamation. It's proclaiming May 5th to the 11th, 2024 as National Correctional Officers Week in Baldwin County. Before I read this, I want to say to the citizens, you really don't know what the corrections officers do every day. They do a lot, and for them to be recognized is an honor to be up here to say this. Being a retired state trooper, I used to deal with them all the time, and they have the most respect and leadership. So I'm really proud of the correction officers. Let me go ahead and read this. Whereas May 5th, 1984, Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, delivered a proclamation designating the first week in May as National Correction Officers Week. And whereas the staff members who serve in the position of correction officers, whether civilian or security staff, are essential to the day-to-day operations of Baldwin County Sheriff's Office Correction Center, and whereas the United States Congress has recognized the essential service provided by all correction officers in the United States of America, and whereas the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office employs approximately 154 correction officers, and whereas the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office correction officers oversee the safety and security of approximately 600 inmates on a daily basis. And whereas the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office Corrections Center processes approximately 13,600 inmates being booked in or booked out of the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office Corrections Center on an annual basis. Now therefore, be it proclaimed by the Baldwin County Commission in regular session assembled that the week of May 5th to the 11th, 2024 is hereby designated as National Correction Officers Week in Baldwin County, Alabama. So,
all right.
You want to say something?
Yes, Commissioners, thank you so much. We appreciate the recognition for our corrections officers. This is National Corrections Officers Week. We have events that are being planned. They had a little fun. I think it was either today or yesterday. I saw some pie going in some faces over there. And they were over there having a good time. One of the things we say about our correction center is this: they're family. They are a family that is very close-knit in a job that they do every day to take care of people that a lot of times are not willing to take care of themselves. And that's a calling. That's a mission. And it's actually, I even refer to it sometimes, it's a ministry in and of itself to take care of these people. So I want to congratulate our corrections officers that are here with us today, just a segment, that are here, and to say thank you for recognizing them. Chief, Major, corrections officers, if y'all come up to the picture, please. Get as many of y'all up here, please.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank y'all.
Okay, commissioners, we hear a
Make it.
motion and a second for the...
I'll make that motion that we approve proclamation National Correction Officers Week, May 5th through the 11th.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Commissioners, would you like to say anything? You've already talked.
Yeah, I've already said something. I mean, it's amazing what they do. And like I said earlier, the citizens really don't get to see what they do. And they're phenomenal. And just thank you for what y'all do behind the scenes. Thank y'all.
Echo what Commissioner McKenzie says. Words can't express the thanks that we have for y'all and the job, as the sheriff was saying, where obviously y'all make fun and have a good time with throwing pies in face in a real dark environment sometimes. And so really appreciate the spirit that y'all have over there, the willingness to stick through it and have the drive to do that job. And like the sheriff said, the calling and even the ministry to do something like that. It's just for me to take a tour through there is all I need to recognize how important it is for y'all to be there. And hopefully part of your new offices will be finished real soon. And I'm looking forward to the move-in of that new facility there, because that will help that morale boost come way back up. So thank y'all for what y'all do.
Yes, and thank you guys. It's a tough job you have. I don't have to tell you that. You know it. You live it every day. And I appreciate the kind words the sheriff said about you guys, because that just makes me feel good about knowing that you guys are, you guys are doing a great job anyhow, because we just hear great things about our whole law enforcement community. And I can't wait till we get into that new building, and hopefully that will be nice for you guys. And you know, all over this state as county commissioners, we interact with others, and people are asking us questions about our new facility and what we do here. And Sheriff, I want to tell you that I constantly say you're a flagship. Your group is all the way down to, not to get into too much more things, but because we're going to have a thing about mental health soon, but I mean on the thing as well. But people are asking questions about what you guys are doing in your jail that nobody else is doing. You guys are leading the way in the path, and I thank you and I thank your staff, because just like us, we're nothing without great staff, and I'm thankful for you guys being here. So appreciate it. All right.
I was looking to see, did Kim leave? Lieutenant Kim Close, I was going to get to her. She stepped out. Just to echo what you said, Madam Chairman. So this year, Lieutenant Kim Close of the Baldwin County Sheriff's Correction Center was chosen by the National Sheriff's Association for being the most innovative corrections officer in the United States. And she'll be presented that award in Oklahoma City. In a few weeks, we'll get to sit on the stage with her as she receives this national recognition.
Awesome.
That's great.
Okay, so next item we have on here is DA4, which is a proclamation for National Law Enforcement Memorial Week. microphone.
This one's a little special to me, and I'm going to read it and I'll explain when I get up there in my comments. This is a proclamation proclaiming May 12th to the 18th of 2024 as National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Week in Baldwin County, Alabama. Whereas the United States Congress recognized the second week of May as National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Week, and whereas law enforcement officers who have been killed or died in the line of duty deserve to be remembered and honored each year, and whereas the work of all law enforcement officers is essential to preserving peace in our communities and ensuring the safety of precious lives and property. And whereas the families of those who have suffered the loss of a law enforcement officer are forever recognized and honored for their loss. And whereas the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office has lost the following deputies who were killed in the line of duty. Deputy Abram Johnson, end of watch, December 26, 1881. And Deputy James Stewart, end of watch, April 11th, 1895. And Deputy Howard Dutton, end of watch, October 1st, 1987. And Deputy Scott Ward, end of watch, November 23, 2012. And Deputy Bill Smith, end of watch, June 6, 2021. And whereas the Law Enforcement Officers Memorial for Baldwin County is located in Robertsdale, Alabama, and has affixed upon the names of all 15 law enforcement officers who have been killed in the line of duty in Baldwin County. And whereas the state of Alabama and the Baldwin County honored those killed in the line of duty on May 3rd, 2024 at the Law Enforcement Memorial Site in Robertsdale, Alabama, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Baldwin County Commission in regular session assembled that the week of May 12th to the 18th, 2024 is hereby designated as Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Week in Baldwin County, Alabama. The Baldwin County Commission and the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office extends its most heartfelt gratitude and external appreciation for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, gone beyond the full measure, and given not only of their personal lives, but also have caused hardship upon their families in doing so.
Commissioners, I also thank you for this recognition as well. As Commissioner McKenzie said, the next week is National Law Enforcement Memorial Week, which will be celebrated across this nation, but specifically in Washington, D.C., where the names of all those law enforcement officers who have been killed in the line of duty will be added to the Law Enforcement Memorial. Unfortunately, I have had to go there on 2 occasions myself with the Deputy Scott Ward and Deputy Bill Smith's name was placed upon that memorial. But Law Enforcement Memorial Week is not just about honoring those, and as it is very important, that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it serves as a reminder for all of law enforcement of the heroic deeds that are committed on a daily basis. The men and women that make up the thin blue line, if you will, the ones that leave their homes every day, that go out to protect people who they may otherwise never even meet, but they serve our communities. Commissioner McKenzie and I were having this conversation a couple of weeks ago as we were in preparation for today, and he asked me to share something with you just to emphasize what goes on in this county. On April the 19th, 2024, 2 deputies with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, Corporal Boros and Deputy Ballou, and members of the Fort Morgan Fire Department responded to Highway 180 in response to 3 swimmers in distress. Upon their arrival, Fort Morgan had just arrived at the scene and was utilizing their remote rescue device called the Dolphin to reach the distressed swimmers. Corporal Boros and Deputy Ballou brought additional rescue gear to assist with the rescue. Upon arrival, it was determined that the swimmers were 125 yards from shore, which placed them outside the range of what we use, a device called a line launcher, which launches a line out to distressed swimmers. Deputy Ballou removed his duty belt and body armor. He then put on his swim vest equipped with a VHF radio and entered the water so that he could get in a position to use his line launcher to get closer to the swimmers. Simultaneously, Fort Morgan Fire was able to retrieve one of the swimmers with the dolphin. Deputy Ballou deployed his line launcher within 10 feet of the other 2 swimmers. The attached flotation device quickly inflated, and the other 2 swimmers were able to grab the flotation device. Deputy Ballou and Corporal Boros, and as well as the other fire department personnel that were there, were able to pull the other 2 swimmers with the attached line. All 3 swimmers were evaluated by medical staff and required no further treatment. These were 3 individuals that were visiting here from Indiana. And like a lot of times when people come to our beaches, the first thing they want to do is get in the water. And that's exactly what happened on this with a dangerous rip current. So it's significant that I read this to you today because had it not been for what started with our coastal program at Fort Morgan, we would not have been able to save those 3 people on April the 19th. Just like Deputy Bill Smith, who paid the ultimate sacrifice when ironically they were rescuing 3 people on that day as well. So it's in his memory and in his honor, and also in the honor of all those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice here in Baldwin County, that I thank you for this recognition, and I really appreciate the support this commission gives our Baldwin County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're ready. Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, commissioners?
I'll make that motion that we approve the proclamation National Law Enforcement Memorial Week, May 12th to the 18th, 2024.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you again, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah, I'd like to say something before we...
Oh, yeah.
And when I read the proclamation, and what I say it was personal to me, I guess with my background, and everybody knows that, I'm not going to say, I don't want to, like Sheriff said, you know, it is a family. Regardless of what uniform you have on, we're family. And when I graduated the academy in 1997, I went to Choctaw County. I'm going to tell you a little story. Went to Choctaw County because you don't, as a trooper, you don't go back home back then. You go to a rural county because you're not close to your family or anybody, friends and stuff. I met a young trooper. I shouldn't say young, he's my age, but anyway, we were troopers. He was an FTO. He was a training officer. Got off training program. Trooper says, his name was Brian Nichols. He worked Washington County. I worked Choctaw. He says, Matt, are you married? And I said, no, I'm not married, I'm single. He said, there's a young lady that's from Washington County that needs a date to the Mardi Gras ball. I said, what day? He said, well, such and such. I can remember this to this day. I couldn't go, I had to work, but it was the Sheriff Wheat's granddaughter, and I got to meet her up there in Choctaw County about 6 months later. Ever since then, we've been married since then. I'm going to make this quick.
Clear that up.
Yeah. And what I'm getting at is Brian Nichols was killed in the line of duty. He was going home, 10 minutes away from his house on Alabama 56. This time I'm already transferred back to Baldwin County. Got killed in 2002. He lost his life February 17, 2002. I remember getting that call from the Post saying, hey, Brian Nichols has been killed in an accident, and you just go numb. Regardless, like I said earlier, regardless what uniform you're in, it's just a heartfelt, you can't do anything. I wanted to get dressed, I wanted to run up to Washington County, but it was too far, there was nothing I can do. But he is the one that introduced me to my wife and told me who to look for. She drove a certain car, and I will remember that man for the rest of my life. And I went, and his family. He had 2 young children. They're grown now and graduated college, and his wife moved on and married another police officer from Chatham. But what I'm saying is we just don't want to forget their names, who did the ultimate sacrifice. And like the deputies, we don't want to ever forget their names, or anybody that's lost their life as law enforcement. But I just wanted to share that with you, and I wanted everybody to remember Brian Nichols, so thank you.
That's a great story. Thank you so much. And I just want to add that from my memory, I can go all the way back to when Deputy Dutton and knew his family and his daughter, and then for all those, I still to this day, when I pass by this morning, I looked over there behind the old junior food store and thought about that's where it happened. And it's not the junior food store anymore, it's a law office, but it's across the street from what's now Honeybee Park. But I don't think I can ever go past that without thinking about that. And there's other places that, Officer Lopez killed there at 36 and 59, and I could go on and on. But it's just something about, when our law enforcement community loses their lives, it's not that everybody's life's important, don't get me wrong, but just it does something to you. Thanks for that story.
And thank you, Sheriff, for your leadership and everything that you and your staff does. These guys that are on patrol, like Commissioner McKenzie said, this working the streets and keeping our citizens safe and making the quality of life here in Baldwin County a good place to live and vacation. And we all are having fun and doing all the things we want to under y'all's safety and watch, and y'all don't even know if you're coming back home that night, and you're willing to do it anyway. This is a very great proclamation that we do every year. I apologize for missing the event this year. It's the first one I've ever missed. I had a conflict, but it's a very somber event for those of y'all who've never been there before, and it's reading these names off and listening to some stories and stuff is what's talked about. So their memory and is always carried on, and we always will remember those who have fallen on our team and everybody else's. But thank you again, Sheriff, for everything that you do.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sheriff.
Thanks for being here. Okay, next item on our agenda is going to be the item DA5, which is the Proclamation for Older Americans Month. I believe Kelly. This was mine.
Because you're the oldest.
You're not. He said because I'm the oldest. Well, what's that old song say? When I'm 64, you'll be older too. We'll give them just a second. Thank you guys for being here today. Well, Kelly, I'll go ahead and give you this official one. Open it up, and I will read this proclamation. Okay. One more second. Give them a chance to exit.
Let them get out here.
Yes, I am the oldest commissioner here today, but nonetheless. is what it is. Thank the Lord for that. Okay, proclaiming May 2024 as Older Americans Month in Baldwin County, Alabama. Whereas May is Older Americans Month, a time for us to recognize and honor Baldwin County older adults and their immense influence on every facet of American society. And whereas, through their wealth of life experience and wisdom, older adults guide our younger generations and carry forward abundant cultural and historical knowledge. And whereas older Americans improve our communities through intergenerational relationships, community service, civic engagement, and many other activities. And whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently. And whereas Baldwin County must ensure that older Americans have the resources and support needed to stay involved in their communities, reflecting our commitment to the senior population. And whereas we call upon all residents to join in recognizing the contributions of our older citizens and promoting programs and activities that foster connection, inclusion, and support for older adults. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Baldwin County Commission in regular session assembled that with deepest respect and admiration, we hereby proclaim May 2024 Older Americans Month in Baldwin County, Alabama, and encourage everyone to take time in May to honor older adults and their professionals, family members, and citizens who care for them. Be it further proclaimed that May 23, 2024 is hereby set aside as Older Americans Day in Baldwin County, Alabama. Thank you so much.
I won't take very long. I know everybody's itching to get out, but these four wonderful people are here, and the Loxley Sales Center is accepting this proclamation today. It couldn't have been a better day. You had this younger group coming up that made this, the life jacket holders, you had your middle-aged, your law enforcement officers, and then you have your roots back here.
That's right.
Because of it all, this is how it started, and they are just amazing. The Loxley Sales Center, Teresa Johnson's over the Sales Center, has grown by leaps and bounds. It has like doubled in size. Y'all have got to come visit the Loxley Sales Center. From homebounds to in-house meals and what they do and how vibrant it is and how much it thrives, and powered by connection. That's the theme for this proclamation. And from the young to the law enforcement to our roots of this county, thank you for proclaiming May as Older Americans Month. And Teresa, if any of y'all would like to come up and speak, please do so.
Well, I take this time to thank you, commissioners, for taking the time to invest in our seniors. It is so important. We have grown from 15 people in the last year to 35 a day. Yes. So we are growing. Homebound has grown in the last year, 14 added on homebounds this year. So I thank you guys for investing in it. And I'm going to be honest with you, my goal is to continue that place to grow. And y'all knock that building wall out. We're going to extend it. We're going to add more people. We're going to have more parking lot because we're getting shorthanded on all that right now. So, but I could not do my job without my seniors. Yeah. They make my job a blessing each and every day to see them come through that door and just, they do visit other seniors' buildings and stuff, but they always come back by the end of the day to play their games and socialize and have afternoon activities for them and stuff. So they make my job wonderful. So I thank y'all so much for investing in our seniors of the county.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Joanne, something you want to say anything?
Thank you, Teresa. I thank all of you, and I thank our Heavenly Father.
That's right. All right. Amen. Yeah.
It's your turn. Go ahead.
Come on, Miss. These are my faithful. They're at the center every day. Every day. Every day. They help me in the center. They're my team. Thank you so much
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, Billy Jo.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's who I am. I'm Billy Jo.
Know you till all.
Well, commissioners,
Make a motion.
Sit
We
down. We have
adopt
a
this
motion.
proclamation.
Commissioner Ball. We have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner McKenzie. Imagine that. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And before y'all leave, please, I want to say something really quick. Okay, you've had to sit through everybody else, so now it's your turn. I just want to say that it just warms my heart to see that this Loxley Center is thriving, because we had a hard time getting it going. You know, when we saw the need at the old facility, the restroom situation, everything was just not right. And so we worked really hard to secure that location and get your building, and then what happened? The pandemic and the COVID and the hurricane really is what really put things behind. And then, of course, I can't mention the Loxley Center without mentioning the loss of Miss Betty. That just, you know, breaks all of our hearts. But you guys, if you need more room there, I promise you that I will do whatever I can, and I'm sure these guys will. I can't do anything by myself, but I know that they will help support. And the solid waste owns that land behind there. We'll just work out a deal, and we'll keep going backwards. Not back. That sounded wrong. Back of the building. How about that? You know, I am the worst for just spitting out stuff without thinking about it sometimes, but that didn't sound right. But nonetheless, thank y'all for being here. I love the older American generation. I qualify for the AARP and all that yet. And my mom, I can't talk about this without mentioning my mom. When she got to the point where her mobility was not where it needed to be, and honestly, she'd say, "I don't want to go up there with them old people." I'm like, "What do you, Mama?" That's what Mama would say. She'd say, "I don't want to go up there with the old people." And once we got her up there, she loved it, and until she couldn't go anymore. And but then my mother-in-law is in an assisted living now, and she is thriving in assisted living. She couldn't live on her own anymore because she can't walk. She's wheelchair bound. But my husband will call her on the phone, check on her every single day. He visits her a lot, and he'll be like, "Mama, what's going on?" She goes, "Could you call me back? We're playing bingo." I don't think it's the illegal kind. I think they do it with Monopoly money. But I know how the Attorney General in here on us going to the assisted living home in Daphne. But anyhow, thank you guys for being here. And if the other commissioners want to say something, I'll stop.
I just want to say thank you to Ms. Childress and Ms. Johnson for doing what you do for the seniors. So thank y'all.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for what you do, and thank y'all for showing up every day and making the center a great place for everybody to enjoy. It's much needed in this community, and right there in Loxley, we've got a very thriving center, and we appreciate all the support y'all give us. So thank you. Makes our life easier when things are running smooth around there. So.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes.
Is that center any way connected with the one in North Baldwin?
Which one in North Baldwin are you talking?
I think it's called the Council on Aging.
That's who is the sponsor. The County Commission, the Council on Aging, Kelly Childress, who is right here, the lady in the black dress. They are underneath the Council on Aging.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that question. If that was just the center.
No, there are actually 2 county-sponsored centers, and there's other centers that are sponsored by municipalities. I know Summerdale's had one going on for 40-plus years at the Summerdale Community Center, and that's sponsored by the town of Summerdale, but the South Alabama Regional Planning Commission, aka SARPC, is their acronym. They, through the state's Council on Aging, and they have the meal program and all of that, and so it's a great. Honestly, I wish we could have everyone in every community, but it takes a lot to get the participation. If you fall under like 25 members, then the viability of that can take the program away, just because it's not cost-effective to have a program for 5 people, but we're very supportive of our Council on Aging. And have you had opportunity to utilize our Council on Aging?
Actually, I've been to the center in Robertsdale.
Now, that's the City of Robertsdale senior program.
Okay. But there's a Council on Aging.
It's at the Central Annex building, which is at the old Vanity Fair building.
I've utilized that.
Well, that is Miss Kelly's apartment.
Oh, okay.
And I will say that out of all the departments here in this county, we get more praise reports and accolades, and she's used to it, so she's humble now. We don't have to worry about her getting
It is a wonderful service that they have.
And please tell people about it. So many people don't understand what is available. And it doesn't have to just be for those who are, that their income level is a certain level, because once you reach a certain age where you're on Medicare, they will help you. They will have programs designed to let you know should you go with your company's supplemental insurance that you retired from, which one of the supplements you should take, or if you don't take many medications, maybe you don't need that at all. They sponsor the income tax workshop, which I'm like, hallelujah. Thank you for taking care of a lot of that. For those of us who do that for a living, that is a very vital thing that they do to help the community who doesn't want to go to, paid repairs. And there's just only a fraction that can do their own and a fraction who can do all that. So that is a very good thing. So please tell people about the Council on Aging, and the senior centers the acronym is SAIL, S-A-I-L. It is Senior Activity for Independent Living, so that you can continue to live an independent life as long as you can amongst your peers. Because I remember when my in-laws were both on walkers, they wanted to go out to lunch, and it was so awkward for them because they felt like they weren't in the way, but they felt they were when you're in a restaurant and stuff. And so they enjoyed being at the senior center because everybody had a mobility problem more than likely, and it was not a big deal. And so I'm thankful it's there. I hope that when I need it, I'll be able to utilize it myself.
Right. And also, I'm training to be a Medicare to teach people as they become in the Medicare age, and those that are disabled and need Medicare. I'm going to be an agent that can help walk them through it and help them find the best plan.
Well, that's great.
For their needs.
Stay in touch with our Council on Aging, and there's the director right there. Thank you. Well, I think you guys are up next, so you don't even have to sit down. Sorry. Our next item is item DA6. I think that's DA. Yes, DA6, the Proclamation for Mental Health Awareness. Okay? So, is Dr. French is not here, is she?
No, she's
okay.
not here.
All right. Well, I'm coming down here to be with you.
Okay. She's a better speaker, but it's okay. Y'all have to deal with me.
I wear my green jacket again.
I know, you're so beautiful.
That is what the green color is.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you guys the proclamation.
Okay.
So you guys can, back up a little bit. I know I'm bossy, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Somebody has to tell somebody something. Anyways, I'm going to read the proclamation, okay? And then I'll let you say something.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a picture, and then we're going to do all that, but that y'all been sitting through. I love it. I love it. Got to have fun. Proclaiming May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Baldwin County, Alabama. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14, and 75% by age 24. And whereas the average delay between the onset of mental illness symptoms and treatment is 11 years, and whereas mental health conditions are real, with 1 in 5 in our nation living with a mental health condition, and the other 4 being family members or friends, therefore affecting nearly 100% of our population. And whereas with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas only half of Americans, 53%, say they are familiar with the U.S. mental health care system, and whereas each business, school, governmental agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support education and prevention efforts. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Baldwin County Commission in regular session assembled that we hereby proclaim May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Baldwin County, Alabama, and call upon the citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Baldwin County to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. So now, did you want to say something?
Yes. My name is Anna Hutchison, and we are here on behalf of NAMI Baldwin County. I'm sure, I don't know if everybody knows what NAMI is.
Tell us what NAMI means.
NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We're the largest grassroots nonprofit, mental health nonprofit in the United States. Everybody that volunteers for NAMI has a loved one or is a caregiver of someone with a mental illness. And as the proclamation says, 1 in 5 folks has a mental health issue, whether it be depression, anxiety, or something serious. And it affects us all. And, I had some facts lined up, but they just kind of all blew out of my brain. But it's just so... I'm just, I sat here and listened to the sheriff talk about, his corrections officers. There's one statistic that says that people that are in the jails or in prisons, I want to say like 50% of people have mental illness. And, they're getting their mental health care, through the jail system. So, they're on the front lines having to help people with their mental illness. We are the loved ones that, taking our kids or loved ones to doctor's appointments, therapist appointments, going to take their medications, or the people that, it affects us all. It affects us all. So I really appreciate the commission for recognizing mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I know Billy Joe was at our mental health fair last week. We had different nonprofits there that believe every day is Mental Health Awareness Day. I'm a little nervous. I'm not a public speaker. I'm glad everybody's gone. But we are all volunteer organization. So if you have a loved one that needs support, our support groups are free. Our education classes are free. It's all evidence-based. So if someone says, hey, my loved one was recently diagnosed with schizophrenia, and they have they believe that they're not sick, we teach them in class communication skills, how to navigate the medical doctor's appointments and get their different types of antipsychotics and depression medicines or whatever it is that they're going through. Things that a doctor, unless the patient gives consent, because of HIPAA, the doctors really can't talk to the family members about. So we educate them on the back end through our education classes, and everything that we provide is free. So if someone says, I want to go to a support group once a month instead of twice a month, they can come. And we are all trained. The family support group facilitators are trained to de-escalate crisis. So like the sheriff's office, They are doing a lot to tackle the mental health end of, dealing with the public. So I can go on and on, but thank you.
You did a good job.
Come on up.
Okay.
Take a photo.
Sorry.
You're great. No one would know if you didn't tell them. Come on. Thank y'all so much for taking me here.
I just became a part of it because I'm myself an
Thank y'all.
Now I want some water.
Make a motion, Madam.
Well, you can stay for a little bit longer, okay?
Make a motion, Madam Chairman, that we adopt this proclamation.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. And I'll start out by saying thank you guys for what you do with the volunteer organization of NAMI. I think Baldwin County Commission started our recognition of it in 2019. And I also want to, and I'll let Commissioner Ball chime in on this, and I mentioned it briefly when I was at the Robertsdale welcoming, that the city of Robertsdale sponsored the Awareness Day about Saturday was a week ago, it's a week and a half ago at Honeybee Park. Second time I mentioned Honeybee Park. Everybody knows where Honeybee Park is at, right? Where the road divides and on the east side of Robertsdale. So I wanted to say that Commissioner Ball and I are second-term commissioners, and we were afforded the opportunity to be in a leadership class with the state Alabama County Commission Association. We had a group of 13, and we had to choose a passion project. It's required in order to pass the class, okay? It's not required we be in the class, but I'm glad that I did it, and I think Commissioner Ball would say the same thing. And through this process, the passion project that we chose was mental illness, to make some type of an impact on helping with mental illness in the state of Alabama. I'll be the first to say I was a skeptic because I'm like, what can we actually do to make an impact? We're county commissioners. We don't make law. What can we do? So my biggest thing is that, if we're going to choose this as a passion project, what can we really do? That's probably the accountant in me saying, gotta make sense. So others in there from across the state of Alabama, we got together. We pretty much on a name basis with Commissioner Boswell of the Department of Mental Health of the state of Alabama and some of the lawmakers from other parts of the state. And we have got with the probate judges, and there's an amendment in a law that got passed and signed into law by Governor Ivey this past week. I believe SB, was it 240. I was going to say 140, it's 240. It has a number now that it's law, but...
Act 24-193.
There we go, Act 24-193. And what that is doing is it is giving more tools to the probate judges of the state of Alabama in the committal process so that mental illness is not the only thing that substance abuse, which often follows mental illness, because a lot of people... Like you said, it could be 11 years before people get any treatment or anything, and so they self-medicate themselves. I haven't self-medicated myself for mental illness. I don't want to hear the critics on that, but I've self-medicated myself for sinus infections and all these kind of things, and you can get yourself in trouble if you're not getting the right help by using the wrong, you take an antihistamine, do you take a decongestant? Just that simple of an over-counter medication can mess you up. So I can't even imagine what people can get themselves into when they self-medicate and then end up getting on illegal drugs, and then they land themselves in our jail system, and that is not the best scenario. So there's one more part to this, is there's a Stepping Up program that is very active, and the sheriff has been fantastic in this. And so I don't have the map in front of me, but our leadership group was very instrumental in contacting sheriffs from other counties, because the sheriff has to buy into this. If the sheriff doesn't buy into this, it doesn't happen, okay? And you guys can be proud of our sheriff because he's probably one of the leaders of the state. When people say, we want to model after what Baldwin County does. Now, we have more resources than some of the other counties do, which makes it easier for us to do some things, but we got more people, which makes it harder for us to do things. But I just want you guys to know that I want to thank you at NAMI and everybody that's involved. You had all kinds of organizations that were at your awareness day, and I hope that we can get it on our calendars way in advance so that we never miss that and we can be there. Our calendars are crazy busy. It's like I wasn't able to be at the law enforcement memorial thing this year either, but just know that by us doing this, this is our public recognition that we are. And I saw one t-shirt that said, "You are not alone." And you're not, you know. So thank you so much. Thank you.
I want everybody here, if you don't take anything that I have said or stuttered over, remember 3 numbers, 988. That is a very important phone number for loved ones that have a person that is in crisis. 988 is like 911. When you get on you dial that phone number, a trained counselor will be on the other line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So say your loved one is having a crisis, or even if they're aware enough to know that they are, spiking, or if they're in a crisis, they will de-escalate the situation, and they are very, very, very well trained to kind of get them to go to a crisis center. There's one in Mobile. And say they are in a crisis and on substances, they can go and get a bed for 23 hours, come down off of whatever they're on, they can get evaluated. So just remember 988. If you don't take any of the statistics in your brain,
yes,
that's an important number.
Remember
and we
that.
need more funding. We need more funding.
You talk to the state legislators and all them about that one, but
yeah, just
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, there is, there is also the crisis intervention programs that are going on. The sheriff's office is doing those, and a friend of mine is a magistrate of one of the municipalities, and she called me on the phone, and she's like, "I am so excited I got to attend one of these crisis interventions so that you can hopefully de-escalate and not end up in someone losing their life." So, okay, I'll stop so we can carry on, but Commissioner.
I'm good.
You're good?
Thank you. Thank you for what you do.
They probably want me to hush. Okay, all right, that's okay. All right. Oh, dear. Let me regroup here. Well, that is the end of our presentations, and I don't believe we have any public hearings today. We'll save that one for next time, huh? Yeah, when the P&Z cases come about. No other staff recommendations, no addenda. Is there anyone from the public that has signed up to speak? Okay. Is there anybody from the public who did not sign up to speak, but you wish to speak before the commission? Okay, then I'll save my spiel about what you can do and not do in public hearing, okay? I mean, public comments. Okay, press, anybody from the press? Okay, commissioner comments. Matt?
Just make it short and quick. I'd like to say thanks to the staff for putting this together. This was a big agenda, so thank y'all. Thanks to the officials and the directors for getting the mid-budget request in, so thank y'all for doing all that. That's all I have.
Jim?
Yeah, just reminders, don't forget it's Mother's Day weekend, so
Thank
got a mother, go get her something. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the Baldwin County school systems graduates this year. High school graduation is in full force now. My daughter's among those.
Congratulations.
Mr. Lundy's kid. We all got kids graduating now that I never thought this would happen, but graduation ceremonies are commencing now. So pray over the safety of these kids and their future endeavors, and keep safe watch over them, and as they enter a new chapter of life. And just one more thing is we had our annual North Baldwin infirmary gala at the Civic Center here in Bay Minette last, was it Thursday night? Friday night.
Yeah,
And well, a good friend of mine was recognized as the Ms. Liz Duryea Lifetime Achievement Award, and that's Ms. Dorothy White, who's very active in our community here with the Senior Center, and she's been with that infirmary system since 1976. And deserved got an award that she very much deserved. That foundation was formed in 1979, and it was a foundation formed that where North Baldwin, they wanted to have the top-notch best health care in this region, and they would raise the money for it. So still going on strong today, and they raise money with silent auctions and donations and stuff. So it was a good event. I saw them out there, and but anyway, that's it. I'm very proud of our piece of legislation that Commissioner Underwood and I was a part of working on that has now been signed by the governor with the mental health stuff, and not to mention that we in that process, I think we added 30 counties on they're fixing to sign contracts with the Stepping Up Initiative when I think there was only 17 or 18 signed up. So that was a task that we also had to complete as a request of the speaker. And we took that task on as an extra adventure, and we learned a lot about stepping up through the process. And I'm proud to say that nearly almost every single county will eventually take the advantage of the money provided to these jails to provide mental health support inside the jail system. So I'd like to just thank Commissioner Underwood. We're on our downhill slope now on this 2-year program that has been quite tedious, but it's a very humbling experience, and you learn a lot going through that program. So if you make it again, Matt, scream out, shout out, and put your name in for it, because it is a great program.
I will wrap this up. Thank you guys for those of you who are still here that have been here, and not to make you nervous, but you know what? These are recorded, they're live streamed, and you are part of the history of Baldwin County. And hold on one second. Come to the podium.
Apologize to interrupt. I was just wanting to clarify. We were told that y'all might be considering our alcohol license today. Is that?
It's already
It's on the
passed.
consent agenda.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Wow, they've been sitting back there going like, when's that coming up?
Glad you enjoyed the meeting.
Items
Thank
on
you.
page 1 through 4. If we didn't have that rocket docket style, we'd be here all day long if we went through every single one of them items. So what we do is our staff is phenomenal. Our staff sends us this stuff. It is online. You can click online and it'll go to what each one of those items. So all those many items that are in there, I have not been challenged by any of our media or any of our opponents or anybody like that they say Baldwin County Commission is very transparent. Once they figure out that, you know what, it's all there. We're not trying to keep anything from you. We could sit in here all day long and go like every little item, but we have made a choice to be able to use some of the extra time that we may have in a meeting to do these wonderful things with the community. So it's a valid question. When I was running for office, I was like, what happened to that? When we were running for office, you come and you watch the other commissioners, which, oh my God, I can't imagine what that's going to be like one day when somebody wants to run against me and they're going to sit out there looking at me like, I try not to do that to the person I ran against, but anyways. So,
can I ask you what's the name of your business? Thank you. All right, thank you.
So anyhow, so our process is amazing. When I first got elected in 2018, I would go through our agenda, which I still do, but it can be way over 1,000 pages of items. And so our staff is just phenomenal. They do a great job of Miss Anu over here. She keeps everybody on schedule. And they do a great job, though, of getting all this stuff together, and to the point where I keep bragging on Baldwin County because it just deserves it. It's not being proud, it's telling a story. So there's a difference between being proud and telling a story. And so I want all the people to know what a great county that we live in, and all you got to do is travel somewhere else. and I'm not comparing us to anywhere else outside of the other regions of the country, but anywhere else, I'll take on anybody in the whole state of Alabama. We got it going on here, and we appreciate it. So sometimes, you get negative publicity out there, and usually that's because that critic doesn't know what they're talking about. So if they start digging in, we are transparent. We have everything available for you guys, and like you said, if you don't know what's going on, come ask us a question. But with all that being said, I feel like I'm rambling. I think I ditto everything that they said. And with that, we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
We're adjourned. See you guys next time.